Okay, so here is the issue and the reason that I'm gonna have to return this brand new MacBook M1X Pro Mac, but it's the full Monty, the 8 terabyte with 64 gig of RAM and all the processors. This thing, it came in at $7,000. It was the most expensive one that they sold. And I have to send it back. It was going to replace this 2019 MacBook Pro 15-inch with the Vega 20, which works perfectly for the way that I need it to work. I've got the 3 monitors going on, but there is a known issue. This document over here describes the known issue, and then these are forums filled with people who are having the same problem. This computer is set up as the main monitor so that my documents will open up in Photoshop on my calibrated monitor. And so I open up Photoshop. First thing it does is that it opens every picture up in this quarter view. It never opens them up fully. I keep running into different things, but here is the main problem. I want to save as this document. Let's say I make some changes and I go to save as. Nothing happens. Where's my dialog box? It's nowhere to be found on any of the monitors. I can go File, Export, Export As, and I get my export dialog box. And this is only where you set up the parameters. You have to hit export and then it'll take you to the where you want to save it. I hit export, nothing happens. So the save as dialog box is lost. It doesn't come up. Cancel out of there. Now, watch what happens here. I'm going to quit Photoshop. On the Adobe forum, I'm going to read it to you. It says, known issues with macOS 12 Monterey. The following are some common issues that are specific to macOS 12 Monterey, which must be by default on the Apple Silicon. Keyboard input doesn't always work for dialogues. To make the dialogue active, click anywhere on it. I haven't had that issue. But the second thing is the main thing, and it literally makes it impossible to work. Sometimes the save as, and export dialogues may not appear when an external monitor via USB-C, Thunderbolt cable, or iPad sidecar is connected. To display the dialog, temporarily disconnect the external monitor or sidecar. That's their workaround. They want me to turn my monitors off and disconnect them so that I can get a save as dialog. Now, I'm processing thousands of pictures a week. I'm not going to turn, I can't. I can't work like that. So watch what happens if I change the, I'm going to change the main monitor from this monitor to the macOS monitor down here, all right? And the way you do that is just to grab the title bar and move it to whichever monitor you want. All right, and now you see the windows flipped over. And now my main monitor is here, and the extra monitors are up here. So I'm just going to call up Photoshop again. Just double click on a picture. It doesn't matter if you open Photoshop or first or no. Now watch what happens. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I get my dialog box. Pretty cool, huh? That's great. And I can save as. But watch what happens if I put it up here. And I bring my document up here. And I can just, and that should call documents up there. Yeah, it does. And there's that weird quarter view again. I don't know why it does that. As long as it's opening up on the main computer, I get the full photo. But this one I have to open up. You know, and I'm just going to kill that application frame. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go to File, Save As, and now I get the dialog box down here. Yeah, fine. I'm just going to save as 4. And then the JPEG options is down here now. Say okay. I think, okay, that's a decent workaround. But there's another way that it does it, that only half of that dialog box comes up. Sometimes the dialog box comes up and it's half of a dialog box. It's the strangest thing. File, save as. Okay, and there it is. You'll notice this dialog box here, it's incomplete. There's nothing there. It's totally blank. Cancel and save as is gone. I can save a copy, but then the dialog box for save a copy comes up for more information, and there's still no information on there. And the only way to get out of it now is I have to force quit Photoshop. Force quit. Yeah, force quit, force quit. Okay. And open it back up. File, save as. And I get my full dialog box. Cancel. Move it up there. And I've done this with restart after restart. It doesn't make any difference. And I've also gone into mission control. Here we go, save as, and no save as dialog box. How did I do that? Brought it down to here. File, save as, no. I think I have to change it around. Oh boy, that just throws everything way out. We're having a really hard problem with aligning these screens. It's really nutty. I'll bring that back up there. File, save as, and here we go again. That's my half dialog box. Bring it up there. There's nothing in it, and I'm stuck. Can't do anything. Can't. Yeah. Okay. So have to. Okay. Force quit Photoshop. So it's a known issue. A lot of people are having troubles with it. I've tried it with HDMI. I get the same results. I've tried it with HDMI with just one monitor. I get the same results. And I go into mission control. I've tried all these settings on and off, and it doesn't make any difference. I've also played around with some of the different window snapping settings and monitor menu settings and all that stuff inside Photoshop preferences. I can't get anything to work. My little monitor calibrator, it calibrated both screens just fine, but for the actual computer display, it doesn't show up in the list, and I can't find it in any of the customized presets either. It just has all these Apple presets, and if you go into customize those, it just brings up these boxes where you have to change the color values. But what's interesting here is as long as it's on P3 500 nits or the 1600 nits, I can adjust the brightness. I have no idea where I'm at on calibration. Now, I admit the screen looks really great, but I don't know what that color calibration is. If I go into this preset down here called Internet and Web, any of these actually, Internet and Web, sRGB, look, the brightness dialog has turned off. If I go into photography, D65, the brightness dialog, there's no way to adjust brightness. You can see there's a little lock sign right there. So the only settings that you have any control over whatsoever, you have to use one of these presets, or you can go into the Apple XDR display, and then I get my brightness dialog back. That's just weird. Why can't I apply a calibration to this? So maybe there's something else that I'm not aware of. X-Rite allowed me to install the latest firmware on this. No problems, no issues. And it allowed me to run a calibration. It ran the full utility on all three of these monitors, but it's not coming up anywhere as available for that laptop. My Wacom drawing tablet here, it only works with the new Mac through the hub, or through my through this hub here, which is going into the RAID drive, and the RAID drive is going into this Thunderbolt. It needs one of these little dongle adapters, obviously, yeah, because it's the, I don't know, that larger size USB. And this works great with the Wacom on this Macintosh, but it will not even come up, won't register on the new one. It's all got the latest drivers and all that stuff. It's not working at all. But it does work going into this hub right here, which is going through the RAID, and then the RAID is coming in here. So it works, but it doesn't work. I had another issue with this OWC RAID drive. I was literally on tech support for at least 5 hours. All sorts of restarts, setting up all the permissions, the disk permissions, the folder access, everything Mac told me to do, listing OWC as an unidentified approved developer and all that bit. And we could not get that drive to work with the new MacBook until we got into the terminal commands, and had to do a special terminal command on the system just to get this drive to come up. And even when it came up, it keeps falling asleep. Shut this one down. Bring the old guy back in. Now this is not Monterey, all right? It comes up beautifully set up on my second screen there. And just open up any old file here. All right, there she is. And I can go to File, Save As, and there's my dialog box, just like it should be. Now, this is how I work. I don't think it's anything weird. You know, constantly using multiple monitors. So anyway, I'm gonna be taking this back this weekend and get my $7,000 back, and I'm gonna keep working with the old guy here. It's been working. It gets hot, no doubt about it, and it's not as fast, but it really wasn't that slow. So anyway, I'll cut this one off.